The Panasonic 14-1/40 lens. Yep, it's true. It was all shot on the Panasonic 14-1/40 millimeter lens. Now, let me tell you why I really like this lens a lot. So if you notice, the image quality is really, really great with this lens. I really like the range of this lens. So at 14 millimeters on the Panasonic GH5, because it's a crop sensor camera, a 14 millimeter is about equivalent to like a 20, I want to say like a 28 millimeter on like a full frame camera, which is barely wide enough to where you can still get a subject in frame and see very specifically the environment that they're in. And so I think that's really, really awesome that this lens can do that. And at the same time, if you need to get some shots that are a little bit deeper, you can zoom in really fast and get those shots too. So it's a really great lens for those just starting out in filmmaking. It's super, super great for documentaries as well. One other feature that the lens has is it has this image stabilization that works in conjunction with the stabilization on the GH5. And a lot of other Panasonic lenses have this same feature, so it's really awesome for that. And just to kind of give you a scenario, so some of that footage you saw before was from a short that I directed a year ago. If you're just kind of this one-man band videographer and you're just going around running and gunning it, this lens is great because what you can do is essentially for this whole entire short that I filmed, all I had was the GH5 with a shotgun mic on top and a shoulder rig. And so what I did is when I needed to get a character's line, I just got in kind of close to them and the lens allowed me to do that. And I was able to pick up their lines really well with the mic.
Hey.
Sorry I'm late. I got held up by a duck crossing.
Oh.
And then whenever I just needed to get an insert shot of them doing an action or walking, or if there's just some sort of shot where I needed just to get something more going on, that I could move farther back and I could zoom in and get shot, like point of view shots of different characters. And as you can see, with a shoulder rig on the back and this lens with the GH5, man, it was a perfect setup. I was able to go around quickly. I mean, I got probably like 100 different setups all within probably like a 12-hour period. And that's just totally 100% unheard of if you have ever been involved in the world of professional filmmaking. Another great thing about this lens is that it's not too expensive. A lot of times other lenses that are made by Panasonic or other companies, they can, go up to into the thousands of dollars, where this one's fairly inexpensive. And so that's another great thing about this lens. Now, I will say, I'll be completely honest, zoom lenses aren't quite as crisp as fixed lenses. And you'll notice that in the image. However, this one in particular, I mean, if you look at the image quality of some of these other shots, you'll notice how it still is crisp enough, especially if you're recording in true 4K on the GH5. I mean, I honestly, I have a lot of lenses I use on the GH5 now for a lot of my shoots. But this one, I think I still come back to the most just because it's small, it's portable. One thing about it too is the focus on it is very, very quiet, which is great for video, because you'll find if you use different lenses on a camera, sometimes it can be really, really loud and it interferes with the audio a lot. Whereas this lens is a little bit different, where it's just super quiet, and so you don't hear the focus as you're trying to get audio on your shotgun mic. So it's great for that. It could be great for vlogging as well, just because 14 millimeter is pretty wide, and so you can get like a good shot of yourself if you hold it back far enough. I've done it before in a few episodes. And so, yeah, it's really, really great. Like I said, I use this lens all the time. It's definitely my go-to lens. And yeah, I think honestly, if you have the GH5 or any of the GH series cameras, this is a great lens to have in your kit. I've used this lens day in and day out, and I can honestly say this is my favorite lens for the GH5.